Today, as you can see, Simba is with me. He will calm down and chill out in a moment. But we have got a vinyasa flow. So it's a 30-minute vinyasa flow. And on the Soul Sanctuary, we continuously are doing vinyasas. So we have 30-minute ones, 60-minute ones. We have a vinyasa flow for every occasion. So this is just to give you a little bit of a taster as to the way that I teach them. So of course, we'll be working through some sun salutations, bit of standing, bit of seated, and then a finishing sequence, all in 30 minutes. So we're going to get straight on into it. And we're going to actually start standing up today. So this is where we're going to ground into our practice. So hands down by the side. Take a big shoulder roll going back and just allow those shoulder blades to travel down the spine as you lift up through the core, open through the chest just slightly, finding that beautiful heart lift. Legs are active. Close your eyes and just move through the feet, really tiny movements forwards and backwards, side to side. Just checking in with how the body's feeling and finding that little sweet spot of balance. And remembering in this vinyasa practice, if you are used to yoga, feel free to embellish and add variations wherever you wish to, inversions, all sorts. If you'd like to modify, then listen to my instruction and take any extra modifications that you know and that you know will serve you. Fluttering open the eyes. Sweep the arms all the way up. Take hold of the right wrist with the left hand and just take a stretch over to that left side, opening through the right side body. So finding the length and the opening through the side body. And then coming back through center, switching sides. Inhale, find the length. And then exhale, move on over to the side. Nice big breaths, engaging that Ujjayi breath, coming back to center, release the hands down. We're going to take a couple of rounds of breath of joy, one of my favorite breaths. So just heel toe the feet to about hip width apart. I'll come to face you so you can see. We go inhale, 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 exhale. Okay, that's how it looks. We're kind of conducting this beautiful big orchestra. You'll kind of get it after the first one, okay? So, one more. Hang down. Just staying in that forward fold for a moment. Just feeling that, those little tingles of aliveness from the breath, traveling around the body. Engaging the glutes and the core as you start to round the spine, come all the way up to standing and heel toe the feet together. Take an inhale, sweep the arms up. We'll just take some half salutations first. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, create space. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep the arms high. Exhale, hands through heart center. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, create space. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep the arms high up to the sky and exhale, hands through heart center. Beautiful. Now, Surya Namaskar A with, like I said, any embellishments or modifications that you wish to take. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, create space. Exhale, place a hand, step or float back to your plank, lowering down through chaturanga or down to the knees. Inhaling, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. So our first downward facing dog of the practice, have a few moments just to wiggle out through the body. Maybe pedaling through the feet. Shake a nod of the head, whatever it is that your body is asking for in this moment, where maybe you start to wave through the spine for a few breaths. And then coming to find stillness here. Sweep the right leg up to the sky, square the hips. Holding here. And now open the hips. So taking that leg a little bit higher, keep the shoulders square, and it's just the hips that open, option of bending through that top knee. So even though we come to this open hip position a lot, it can really help us to keep the hips square for the first breath, just so that we can remind ourselves to not collapse through the shoulders. Slowly release it down. Sweep the left leg all the way up. Square the hips. Take a moment here. And then take that leg a little higher, open it out. Be mindful of what's happening in the shoulders. Option to bend that top leg if it feels good. And slowly release. Take a breath. On your next inhale, step or float the feet to the hands, lift the chest, create space. Exhale, fold down over both legs. Inhale, sweep the arms high up to the sky. Exhale, hands through heart center. Inhale, take the arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, create space. Exhale, place the hands, step or float back, lower down, chaturanga or down to the knees. Inhaling, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. We're going to stay in this one just with some stillness. Know that every time we're in a downward facing dog, you could take the option of a child's pose if you need to find a few breaths to pause. Maybe you want to take a turbo dog. And by that, we take our elbows that halfway point between dog and dolphin. Entirely up to you where you're feeling for today. On your next inhale, step or float feet to the hands, lift the chest, create space. Exhale, fold down over both legs. Inhale, sweep those arms high up to the sky. Exhale, hands through heart center. Surya Namaskar B, hinge at the hips, bend the knees. Sweep the arms up, Utkatasana. Let's hold an extra couple of breaths here. My favorite. So really thinking about that beautiful long line through the spine. We're lifting up through the core. We're not collapsing and letting the ribs flare. Reaching those arms up by the ears. Take another inhale here. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, create space. Exhale, place the hands, step or float back, lower down, chaturanga or down to the knees. Inhaling, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, right foot steps between the hands, warrior one or high lunge. I don't mind which one you prefer to go to. Let's take an extra breath. Inhale. Exhale, float the hands down, frame the foot, step it back and work your way through your vinyasa, meeting back in a downward facing dog. Inhale, step the left foot through between the hands, ground down, sweep those arms up, lifting. One extra breath, inhale. And exhale, float the hands down, frame the foot, step it back and work through your vinyasa, meeting back in the downward facing dog. Beautiful. On an inhale, shift the shoulders forwards, find your high plank. Let's lift the right knee to the right elbow, bring it across to the left, back to the right, back to plank. Oh yes, left to left elbow, across to the right, back to the left, back to plank, and wave the body all the way back to your downward facing dog. Beautiful, well done. On your next inhale, step or float feet to the hands. Lift the chest, create space. Exhale, fold down over both legs. Inhale, hinge your hips, bend the knees, sweep the arms up, Utkatasana, holding here. Let's just check in with a little bit of balance and stability. Squeeze the knees together. Can you hover the right foot off the mat without moving position? Place it back down. Hover the left foot off the mat. Place it down. Take an inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, create space. Exhale, place the hands, step or float back, lower down, chaturanga or down to the knees. Inhaling, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Now inhale, step forward. Warrior one, reach those arms high. Exhale, open it out, warrior two. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, float the hands all the way down and around. Take it back and work through your vinyasa. Beautiful. This time, left leg, it comes all the way through. And we inhale, sweeping those arms high up to our warrior one. Exhale, open it out, warrior two. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, windmill over, frame the foot. And then roll on through your vinyasa, fluidly with the breath, meeting back in a downward facing dog. Now take a moment to reconnect to the breath in case you kind of lost it throughout all that fluidity. Taking those moments. On your next inhale, step or float, feet to the hands. Lift the chest, create space. Exhale, fold down over both legs. Hinge at the hips, bend the knees, sweep the arms up, beautiful and strong. Holding here, Uttanasana, Utkatasana even. Breathing, lifting up through the core. And come all the way up to standing, allowing the hands just to float down by the side of you. Just come to stand near the top of the mat. Ground down through the right foot. Draw the left knee into the chest. As you start to tilt the chest forwards, take the left leg out to find warrior three. In your warrior three, you're going to then step back, not super far, reach the arms up, open them out as if you're in like a short warrior two stance, coming to find Trikonasana. Reach the right arm forwards and then take that right arm down, left arm up. You can either balance it, the right hand on a block if that feels good, or you could have your fingers all the way down to the mat. Breathing here, take an inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Look down. Bend through that right knee. We're going to push forwards and come to find Ardha Chandrasana, half moon. Trying to stay with that balance. Are you able to hover your hand, your right hand, away from the floor or away from a block? Beautiful. Big, big, big step back. Frame the right foot and then send that right leg all the way up into a three-leg dog. Bending the top leg. From here, gently starting to work that right leg all the way over behind you. Find Wild Thing. Hips and heart lifting high up to the sky. Inhale here. Exhale. Inhale, exhale. Now, beautiful little transition now. Lift up the right foot if you can. Place the right hand down and then thread that right foot through to the outside of the left hand. Open the hips, left arm reaches up, fallen triangle. Take it a little bit deeper by reaching that left arm up over by the head. And then if you want to, you could slide that right leg away a little further to get deeper into the hips. And then slowly unraveling, left hand comes down. Step yourself all the way back to plank and wave through your vinyasa. Meeting back in a downward facing dog. A nice releasing breath here. Inhale. And let it go. On your next inhale, step or float, feet to the hands. Lift the chest, create some space, and then exhale, forward fold. Heel toe the feet to about hip width apart. Take the two peace fingers around the big toe. Take an inhale, find length. Exhale, elbows move out to the side as you lower into the fold. Shift the weight towards the front of the feet. If you need to bend the knees here, absolutely fine. Focus on the lengthening of the spine. 2 more breaths here. On an inhale, coming up, lift the chest, come to your fingertips. Exhale, take the hands to the hips. Inhale, coming all the way up to standing. Beautiful. Keep the hands on the hips, ground down through the left foot, and we draw the right knee into the chest. Now, as that right foot heads back behind us, hips stay square. As you lower the chest down, find warrior three. The good thing about having the hands to the hips is we can really think about, are the hips square or are they tilting open? If you literally put your hands there, you can tell they're facing down or if they're opening up. Now, big step back. Open the arms out to this kind of slightly shorter warrior two stance. Straighten both legs. Reach forward with the left arm. And then left hand floats down towards a block or to the leg or the mat. Right arm is up. Trikonasana. Now, this is a strong posture. We don't want to be like hanging out on that front leg. You want to be really thinking about engaging that back quad. You're working hard here. It's not an easy one. Another inhale. Exhale. Now, bending through that left leg, can you push off, find the balance, and take it to Ardha Chandrasana, half moon. So that right leg is lifted. Maybe your left hand's at a block, or you're able to hover it all the way off the mat. Feeling into all of those wobbles. Don't worry, we all get them. And then float the hands down, frame the left foot. Big step back with the right foot. Pick up the left leg and send your left leg all the way back to your three-leg dog, bending that top knee. From here, moving slowly over into wild thing. Hips and heart lift high up to the sky. Keep breathing here. And then unraveling, left hand comes down. Think about that transition again as we feed the left foot through to the outside of the right hand, and then the right arm reaches all the way up to the sky. To take it deeper, we can reach that right arm by the ear and slide that left leg away a little more. Only if that feels good for you. Breathing here. And then slowly floating right hand down, step it all the way back to plank and work through a vinyasa. Making your way back to a downward facing dog. From here, we're going to make our way down to seated. So either thinking about jumping through, walking through, or just gracefully popping your bottom down to the mat. If you're going to walk through, it's these little steps to get the hips super, super high. You might need to bend the knees the closer you get. And then you see if you can start to wriggle those legs all the way through. Keep the bottom lifted and then release it. Well done. Keeping the legs out long in front, we're going to take a forward fold, Paschimottanasana. If you usually sit on a block or you use a strap, absolutely do that. Keep those feet flexed. Take a nice big inhale. Draw the crown of the head tall. And then exhale, take the fold over both legs. Let's undulate here for a few breaths. Inhale, lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift. Exhale, fold. One more time. Inhale, lift. Exhale, fold, and then holding here in your Paschimottanasana. One more breath. And then peeling yourself up to seated. Now, either keeping the legs along, we're going to go into Purvottanasana. So the hands facing towards the bottom are going to be about hands distance behind you. To modify here, you're going to bend the feet in, have them hip width apart, and lift the hips. Fullest expression of the pose is to have the legs long and to have the feet grounding into the mat. Okay, so I'm going to count our breaths. Keep that inner line of energy running the whole way through the legs. If you're grounding down through those feet and those straight legs, inhale, lift the hips. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And And exhale, release. Draw the knees in, Navasana. Holding your Navasana, we're going to take little alternate toe taps. So I'm going to count you through. We'll start with right and then left, and we just keep going. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. You've got this. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold, inhale. Exhale, cross the legs over, place the hands down, shoot back or step back, vinyasa. And if you're not feeling for a vinyasa, you know that you can just take a step back to the downward facing dog. That is absolutely okay. Making your way down to seated again from your downward facing dog, either walk through or jump through, whichever you wish. And then we're going to come to take Marichasana C. Left leg stays long, right leg bends in. Right hand behind. Take a nice big inhale, stretch tall, and then either hug the right leg with the left arm and find the twist, or take the left elbow over the top, gazing behind you. Inhale, finding that length, and then exhale, moving a little deeper into the twist. Inhale the length. And then exhale, can you move into that space that you've created? Unraveling, coming to the front. Now, you're going to interlace the hands, wrap the hands around that right foot. Start to hover here. Now, you might not be able to straighten the leg. If you can, you're going to come to that straight point. If not, you might want to find yourself a strap so that you can hold that leg straight. In a moment, though, we're going to be dropping it anyway. So keep yourself lifted. The spine is beautiful and long. And then from here, you're going to try and keep the leg as high as it is. Keep the leg straight, point the toes, float the arms up by the ears. You can point both toes, and we'll hold here for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hug it in. Beautiful. Switch sides, right leg long, left leg comes in, Marichasana C. Taking the left hand behind you, inhale, finding that length. Exhale, either the hug of the knee or the elbow coming over. Gazing behind. Lengthening through the spine. On the inhale, we really reach tall. And on the exhale, we see if we can explore that space that we've already created in the body by using the breath. One more like that. And slowly unraveling. Interlace the hands, take them behind the left foot. Just the option of taking the strap if you need to, or you can just stay with that knee bent. There are lots of options. You don't have to have that leg straight. Crown of the head reaching high up to the sky, lengthening through the spine. Now, as you float the hands away, pointing the toes, reach the arms up, holding for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hug it in. Hug both knees into the chest. Well done. Find your Navasana. Holding here. Inhale for 1. Exhale. Inhale 2. Exhale. Inhale 3. Exhale, vinyasa, or you could just step it back to a downward facing dog. Everybody meeting back in the downward facing dog. Grounding down through the hands, taking a moment here. Inhale. Exhale. And then bringing yourself down to seated again. Putting the bottom down. Okay, so I'm going to give you yogi's choice in this vinyasa. So your option here for your finishing sequence, you can either take shoulder stand, and the sequence is shoulder stand, halasana plow pose, Karnapindasana ear pressure pose if you know what it is and you can go there. If not, just knees to forehead, and then come down and take Matsyasana fish pose like so. If you would rather work on your inversions, then absolutely take a headstand, work on your pincher. Option, if you'd like to take back bends, you can. We haven't done a whole lot of heart opening through this practice. So just self-assess and ask yourself, do you feel open enough for it? If you do, go for it and enjoy it. If you don't, then maybe pick one of the others. Okay, so bringing yourself to the variation that you would like to, you could also take a restorative bridge, of course, with a block. I'm going to guide us through the shoulder stand option, but that doesn't mean you have to take it. Like I said, yogi's choice. Taking those legs all the way up, catching the spine, making sure that the head does not move side to side. Legs are reaching all the way up, and your gaze can either be to the toes, you can close the eyes, or sometimes it's quite nice to really just watch the belly rise and fall with the breaths. Nice way to kind of feel into that meditative concentration. We're going to take a few breaths here. If you're taking another option, if you're inverting, make sure you counterpose with a child's pose. And if you're taking back bends, then please do take a couple of twists either side. Supine twist to counterpose. 2 more breaths in your shoulder stand. And then slowly starting to lower the knees down to the forehead, either staying here or taking the feet all the way back to find plow pose, halasana. And you can drop those arms down and interlace the hands. It's the tops of the feet that come down to the floor. 3 more breaths. Keeping the breath still, nice and deep, even though we're in these compact positions. Really trying to let the breath travel the whole way around the body. Now, option here, either taking Karnapindasana ear pressure pose, if that's in your practice. If not, either staying in halasana plow pose or bringing the knees back to the forehead and holding there for a couple of breaths. Three more breaths wherever you are. And then gently taking the hands down to the mat as you slowly peel yourself down to your mat. Taking Matsyasana fish pose, so legs come down and start to lift up the chest, drop the head back. Two more breaths here. And if you're in a back bend or an inversion, starting to make your way down to the mat. And releasing your Matsyasana, bringing yourself all the way down onto your back. Draw the knees into the chest. Take a little rock side to side. Just a little massage through the lower spine before we come into our final relaxation. Any final movements that you need, take them now. And then allow your legs to just drop down to the mat. Let your feet drop out, so releasing that tension. Palms of the hands facing upwards. Shoulder blades traveling down the spine, just allowing the chest to lift a little. Closing your eyes and really just moving into this present moment. Feeling supported and held by your mat. Supported and held in this community. By the practice, by the people, by the teachers, all of the many teachers that have come before us. Slowly bringing some feeling back into the physical body, wiggling fingers and toes, circling the ankles and wrists. Taking as long as you need. And whenever you're ready, just rolling over to one side and pausing there for a moment. And making your way up to a comfortable seated position. Like I said, no need to rush. Place the hands one on top of the other over the heart center. Grounding down through all parts of your body, connecting to the mat. Feel energy rising up through the earth into your body. Awakening and bringing yourself into this more beautiful, alive state as we work with our energy. Crown of the head reaching taller. We'll seal our practice with one releasing breath. Inhale. Thank you. Thank you so much for doing that vinyasa practice with me. I hope that you enjoyed it. Like I said, there is so much more where that came from on the full membership. So I hope that after this series, you join the full membership and you are part of the full community. And I just look forward to flowing with you and having you on the mat. So thank you, and I will see you again. Bye-bye.